What is this? A trip out west without something going wrong for the Badgers? Is this real life? Yes, yes it is. Wisconsin went out to Provo, Utah and beat down BYU to the tune of a 40-6 scoreline. So, what were the takeaways from this contest? Well, let's dive right in here on Talking Badgers. This defense is salty. That's takeaway number one. We knew the numbers were impressive already, but realistically, what kind of competition did UW even really face? It was clear from the get-go that the best competition Wisconsin was going to get offensively was probably going to be from the BYU Cougars. And that game was Saturday in Provo, Utah. And Wisconsin's defense did what they always do. They shut opponents out. Wisconsin gave up just 192 total yards, held first-time starting quarterback Bo Hodge to just 111 yards passing, allowed just 11 total first downs, and they held the Cougars to just 5 of 12 on third downs. Yes, 5 of 12 on third downs. That's downright salty. But it has been par for the course for a defense that has given up just 3 touchdowns. Yes, 3 touchdowns so far this season. Perhaps no set of drives were more indicative of Wisconsin's salty nature on defense than BYU's opening 2 drives of the game. It started by TJ Edwards picking off the very first pass from Hodge just 3 plays into the game. UW goes down a little bit, kicks a field goal, they're up 3-0. However, BYU makes some strides on its very next drive, and it leads to them getting inside Wisconsin's 10-yard line. And as has become typical, UW's defense rose to the occasion while facing a 1st and goal from their own 5-yard line. Former Badger recruit Ula Tolatau rushed for 1 yard on first down. BYU was called for holding on the very next play, and then UW decided that they were going to stuff a wide receiver screen 3 yards behind the line of scrimmage. And that also led to Bo Hodge getting called for delay of game, and suddenly 1st and goal at the 5-yard line became 3rd and goal from the 22-yard line. The drive that looked like it would end in the end zone came up with just 3 points, 3-3 tie ball game, and it was over at that point. After that, not much going for the Cougars, and they tried just about everything, including the kitchen sink of another former Badger, Austin Coffensis, getting into the game and running some Wildcat. And let's just say few defenses in the Big Ten have looked as salty as Wisconsin's has. And so I say this, the Big Ten better be on notice. Takeaway number 2, youth is Wisconsin's secret weapon. A lot of people focused on the fact that Wisconsin has a ton of returning talent, and while the usual suspects have played key roles thus far, the real story of the Badgers' 2017 season has been just how important young players have been to UW's success. On offense, you've got true freshman Danny Davis emerging as a dangerous deep threat, while sophomore wide receivers Quintez Cephas and A.J. Taylor are becoming key parts as well. And Davis picked up a 50-yard bomb from Hornibrook early in this game, even having to adjust as it was thrown a bit behind him. And Quintez Cephas, well, he led all receivers with 5 receptions for 54 yards and a pair of touchdowns, while A.J. Taylor had 3 receptions for 34 yards and a touchdown of his own. And then there's the offensive line, which has redshirt freshman Tyler Biotish anchoring things, and even Jason Erdman coming in and playing big minutes as a sophomore at guard. Oh, and then there's this guy named Jonathan Taylor. Jay Taylor continues to tear up opposing defenses in the run game. A week after putting up 223 yards against FAU, Taylor put up his second straight 100-yard-plus performance in his second start, going for 128 yards and a touchdown on just 18 carries against BYU. Now, however, hammering this point home even further is the fact that it's not just freshmen and sophomores doing big things for the offense. In fact, cornerback Deontay Carrier-Williams is becoming a near every down player for the Badgers and came up big with his first reception on Saturday. He also happened to lead the defense with 8 tackles on the day, and then you just throw in the mix names like Madison Cone, Garrett Rand, and Isaiah Loudermilk as well, and you start to see a recipe of youth being very impactful early on. You want to know why the Badgers are so dangerous heading into Big Ten play? For me, look no further than the impact young, athletic, and dynamic players are having on the field for your answer. Takeaway number 3, the Badgers are clear West Division favorites. I don't think this is any big secret, but it has to be a big takeaway coming out of non-conference play, because what we've seen is the Wisconsin Badgers continuously getting better and better and better each and every week, whether it's defensively on special teams and especially from week 1 to week 3 on offense. Now, sure, the rest of the division hasn't exactly lived up to the expectations either, and they're not really helping making this a difficult situation so far. But honestly, name another team with a 3-headed monster at running back, a quarterback capable of shredding a defense when on his game, and then a defense that is virtually impossible to score on. After 3 weeks of play, stats don't lie. Wisconsin is your clear-cut favorite in the West Division, and some may worry about putting that title on them, but I'm not one of them, because Paul Chryst has done a masterful job of keeping the guys humble and focused. With an extra week off ahead of the Big Ten opener, expect UW to come out hard against Northwestern in 2 weeks' time. And well, folks, we've come to the end here, and all I've got to say is, if you love the shirt that I've got on, you said it all, well, you can find it at the Talking 10 store. More about that in the links below. So make sure you check out those links. And of course, do not forget, you can also subscribe to the Talking Badgers channel here on YouTube. Hit that subscribe button you're seeing right about now, somewhere over here or over here. Either way, please make sure you subscribe. And if you already are a subscriber, thank you so much. And keep spreading the word. And until next week, well, actually, until next 2 weekends, keep on living the B1G life.